Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike Armstrong here with Sports Stop in New Hampshire, bringing you another product review. So today I'm actually going to go over the differences between all the StringKing meshes, which include the 1X, the 1S, and what they manufacture for Epoch Lacrosse in the Otter mesh. Now, since StringKing has come up with these meshes that are unlike any other that we've seen, I think it's important to go over what a hard mesh and a soft mesh actually is. So now right here I have a hard and a soft mesh from Epoch. Now these are more of your traditional meshes. They're made out of a nylon fiber which has a high elasticity, and that's what gives you that, that give and that break-in time. So the material that they use to harden it is actually something that will break down over time, so that's where you get your break-in period. Generally, when I string my stick, I like to shoot about 100 to 200 balls in order to make myself comfortable in how it's broken in. Now nylon fibers have a high elasticity, so that makes it have a lot of give and gives you that extra bagging that happens over time and as it breaks in. And also with the nylon fibers, it will absorb the water and stretch even further. Now the hard mesh uses a material on the mesh that makes it repel water slightly, so that's why soft mesh actually bags more in the rain. But because it is made out of a nylon fiber, this will absorb water either way and you're going to get bagging. So now with StringKing mesh, they use a non-nylon fiber. Unfortunately, they weren't able to disclose exactly what kind of material they use, but it doesn't have the elasticity that hard mesh and soft mesh have in the nylon fibers. So when you stretch this, that's it. It's not going to stretch any further. Alright, so you don't have that break-in time. The 60-second break-in time that they advertise is literally you just stretching the mesh out. So that's a huge, huge advantage in consistency and also being able to go right off from the field, fix your stick, and get back on with the same throw, the same stick, and it really won't make a difference in your play. So now the other advantage to having the non-nylon fibers is it doesn't absorb water and it doesn't stretch and bag. So when you're playing in wet weather, where we're in the Northeast, we see a lot of wet weather in the springtime, you're constantly having to adjust your game, adjust your stick. With the StringKing mesh, you're not going to have to do that. Okay, so now we're going to get into the difference between the 1X and the 1S. Now the 1X mesh is a semi-hard mesh, so it's not as hard as your traditional hard mesh, so you're going to get a little bit more ball control, but it doesn't support itself as well as a regular hard mesh, so it can be a little bit more whippy depending on how you string it. So you do have to string these a little bit different than you would a regular hard mesh. So now the semi-soft mesh that StringKing does, the 1S, is actually a little bit harder than your regular soft mesh, so you're actually going to lose a little bit of ball control, but you're going to gain that consistency by having it support itself a little bit better than what a regular soft mesh does. So the differences between the 1X and the 1S: semi-hard, semi-soft, more consistent throwing, more ball control. Now what some people may not know is that StringKing actually manufactures Otter mesh for Epoch Lacrosse. Now, Epoch Lacrosse is one of the top technology companies in the industry right now. They've been pushing the boundary on technology and bringing the game to that next level. So the mesh that they designed with StringKing is actually made out of a composite material. It's a military-grade composite material that's actually half the weight of your average mesh. So one of my sticks I use is a Gate Ice and a Clutch Superlight. It's probably one of the lighter sticks right now on the market. Now I use the Otter mesh on that stick, and you really can tell the difference. A lot of people, when it was first hitting the market, were saying that, what is a lighter mesh going to really do? How much does a regular mesh actually weigh? And when it comes down to it, you really can tell the difference. You can feel the ball a little bit better, your release you can feel a little bit easier. So it really does make a difference, and I've really been digging the Otter mesh lately. So now one of the best things about StringKing and about what they do is what they're calling the True Diamond technology. So now when you're using a traditional hard or soft mesh, Epoch just recently started being a little bit more consistent with their mesh. They were using something called a D-diamond, at least I think that's what it's called. And now this is going to give you something that's a little bit less consistent. So depending on the mesh, everybody used to say that every mesh was different. So depending on the mesh that you got, you might actually have to alter your stringing pattern or your release, your shooting string tightness, and things like that. Not every single time was it consistent and was it the same. So with this True Diamond technology that they've been using, every single diamond is the same, no matter what, every mesh. So you're always going to get the same product every time. And that is huge for lacrosse players at a high level who are looking for consistency in multiple sticks and also being able to restring and not have to worry about doing something different. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys liked the video. As you can see behind me, we're a huge supporter of StringKing and what they're doing with technology on the mesh. I have some samples coming from them for some stuff that they've been working on, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to be coming up with next. But for now, it's been Mike Armstrong with Sports Stop in Hampshire. See ya.